Hi, this is Cynthia Ortiz. It is Thursday, April 28th, 2022. And these are the Charles Perry Stalker podcasts. So we're going to do the disclaimer, apply the but-for standard, but for Mr. Perry stalking me and taking all my money and causing a whole lot of suffering and acting like one delusional, sick, twisted, fucked up person. We wouldn't do these. The National Stalking Victims Resource Center says document everything they do to you. Stalkers are dangerous. One of the officers in the video connecting the dots says you need to tell victims that stalkers are dangerous and they need to take precaution to protect themselves. They use technology these days more often than not. They'll hack your phone, they'll GPS you, they'll put cameras in your house against your will, and sometimes kill cops that try to help you. This guy, point out for me, on Officer Mike Nealey of Manford Police, who took my police report on car vandalism 6 days before this picture was taken. This picture came from the interview with the Escambia County Sheriff's Office 6 days after I gave a report. I didn't name a suspect. I said, nobody saw who did this to my car, but I have a stalker. He always gets the key to my car from the dealer, pays him a little something, something. It's like they just wanted me to know they could get in this one. This is a new car. They totaled my last one. They've been threatening my car specifically. I'm suing 5 of them right now because the guy that's stalking me, Charles Perry, has hired people. One of them owns a company called Dynamic Shot. His name is David Robertson. He's got his employees 2 doors down. So, but for that, point out for me the injuries on this man that looked like he was in a fight. He's an officer down in need of an assist. He was a victim of attempted murder. Perry has a habit of poisoning people, and when they don't die, then he arranges a false arrest. He's being caught more than ever in his life, and guess what? That's gone on for 12 years. They're about to pull the plug. You know what he does? He gets caught and he'll do it anyway. He gets caught and he'll do it anyway. When he's recorded talking about committing a crime, you're just talking about it if you're just talking about it. When you do it, now it's premeditation and the sentences are harsher. You're not exempt from the law. When I'm quoting what you just said, what makes you think you're exempt from the law? It's like our shrink said, it's like he's got Alzheimer's or senile dementia or something. He never ever responds appropriately to what was just said. Acts like he has no idea what you said. So, we want to know. Point out the marks, Mr. Perry, on Officer Nealey. That looks like he was in a fight. So apply the but-for standard, but for those kinds of heinous criminal acts directed at victims of Mr. Charles Perry and his crew of weirdo every fucking day. We wouldn't do the Stalker podcasts. They are to document his threats because his threats are specific. They are to document what he actually carries out. They are to document every fucking fucked up, nasty, strange, bizarre, weird-ass thing he does. And this guy does stuff no normal person could think up if they tried. Sick, twisted shit. He is one demented, depraved mind. So, apply the but-for standard and use allegedly. Nobody's been found guilty in a court of law yet. Apply the prudent, reasonable person standard. What would any prudent, reasonable individual do in the same circumstances I'm in? Local police are in. Police from somewhere else are in. What would they do? I'm going to tell you something, TPD. We had one officer talking to our guys. They're buddies from way back. And he said, I'll tell you what, I've not heard from TPD, but if they ever call me, they're going to be put on hold, and I'm going to lunch. You can't trust them. I don't know what. They got a cross-jurisdictional case. I don't trust anything they bring me. And I have a stellar reputation, and I'm not going to fuck it up for them. They put 2 people who are in the cop family under the bus. They allowed this. They gave Cynthia's police report right over to an offender who tried to kill her. She lost her evidence. Who the hell does that? That's not what the officers in connecting the dots say, is it? That's not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to take a report, properly collect the evidence right then, right there. Log it in and put these people in jail so they cannot continue to reoffend. Because they will. They can't control themselves. Criminologists say that biological theories of criminology is such that offenders suffer from a low IQ and no impulse control. And I've not seen that be more true now than it is in my life than it is right now with Charles Perry. Can't control himself to save his life. The guy said, then they let Mike Nealey get smeared and arrested, and Cynthia's going without electricity while she helps him, and they did nothing. They throw their own under the bus. They'll throw anybody under the bus. So when they bring me something, I won't trust that it's even legit, and I will not tarnish my good name and my reputation that I have worked all my life to build for the likes of them. They call me for anything. They go on hold, and I go to lunch. I won't have anything to do with them. You can't trust them. People do not like corruption. That is not what our country was founded on. Our country was founded on principles and morals and values, and you put value in human life, and you do not show depravity, and you do not commit dereliction of duty and put people's lives at risk. And had you got him on the obstruction, this man wouldn't be sitting there, and Chief Miller would be alive. So we have a reporter that said, had they, Charles is offering me a bribe. Once I found out in March 2020, actually January 2020, that Officer Nealey was drugged. It wasn't on the docket yet. No one knew it. It wasn't public. How did I know that? Calvin, Blankenship, Desiree, how did I know that? Muffin Man, whoever the fuck that is. How do I know your names? Police chatter. Charles Perry's under a police investigation. He's about to go to jail. Because someone else is taking care of business. They gave me the Fabian puzzle. Wasn't up to Charles, was it? We're trying to use the carrot and the stick on her. We're going to take everything she has away, force her back to Texas against her will, tell her we'll give her a house on an expense account. I'll be dead in a week. You'll do that for like a week while you torture and torment me? It's coaxing. I'm not going to fall for it, and I'm not going to help a criminal. I'm not going to become a part of your crime. I'm not. You don't need to coerce somebody to lie if they're already lying. You only do that if they're telling the truth. This time you guys got caught. When you fuck with me, you get caught. When you do X, Y happens. And it's like you like Y, because you continue to fuck with me and fuck with me and fuck with me. And in 12 years, Mr. Perry is not loved or wanted. He is a rejected failure, too stupid to figure out how to get out of my life and move on. And he goes at me and goes at me and goes at me and goes at me. And he's bragging, you're homeless. You're broke. Nanny, nanny, noo. And I'm going, exactly, but I told you so. So you proved out a hell of a lot of recordings. I look forward to watching you try to explain that in your criminal case. I'll look forward to it. And when you're in jail, I'm going to come see you. I'm going to go, is it cute now? You thought that was so cute, what you did to me. And what you did to Officer Nealey. And what you did to the Miller family. You thought you were powerful. Now how you feel? You feel cute now? Your kids are going to want to know what was so important, Dad. You had to embarrass us with your sex weirdo problems. You strapped them with that forever. Do even your children not mean a fucking thing to you that you would stoop to that? Sit on your fat, lazy ass all day perverting around, causing one problem after another problem after another problem, and you made people hate your guts. It is not hard to get information. You want to take my home, and that's a carrot and the stick thing? My car, my money, and offer me some sort of false bribe? My guys go, you go to Texas, you'll be dead in a week. It's better under a bridge in Oklahoma than it is over there. I'm prepared to do that. You've seen me for years go without food because you took my money. You have seen me for years sit in the dark because you had my electricity cut off. You've seen me endure all the suffering you have caused me and not lie for you. You don't need a lie if you're telling the truth, weirdo. Do you not know that? See, here's the thing. Everybody else is smart. You're stupid. You think everybody's as stupid as you. So in January 2020, the guys that told me Mike Nealey was drugged, not up to you that we got that, was it? They did it completely right up under your nose. You had no idea. Just all of a sudden, I'm sending an email to the Florida State's attorney going, this guy didn't do it. You need to send him home. You don't have probable cause. He was drugged, and I know that. You know how I know that? Perry's being investigated. They found it, investigating him. I didn't tell him that. I just said he was drugged. You got a Brady violation already. Get him home. The guy ignored me because he was paid to. He was paid by Perry to do that. So, this guy's a police officer. Police do not leave anybody behind. You just don't do it. You're in a shootout. You know, like the Bank of America shootout a long time ago with in L.A. You got a guy down and he's bleeding. You got to get him out so he can get medical care and don't bleed to death. And you know when you go in there, you could get shot and killed too. So you try to arrange it. You try to set up a strategy, kind of military style something, so that you don't, a distraction or something, so somebody can go in and get him out. But you don't just leave him there. You talk about how can we get him out and not end up dead too. But you know there's still a risk, and you do it anyway. That's what cops do. It's cop family. You don't leave one down. So our guys are talking to other cops, and they're very disgusted with you, TPD. Not only did they give her a police report over to someone who tried to kill her, and then she lost the evidence of that, and then they did nothing about it. Then when this guy's hurt, she's there for him. She's fighting for him. She's suffering. No food, no electricity for a week. For him. Because I don't know him. I spent 30 minutes talking to him. But that's what I was taught. I come from 4 generations of police. It's just what you do. Not doing it's unthinkable. And however bad I had it, he has it worse. So we do what we do. It's part of the process. But we're going to get him free. We're going to get everybody free. We're going to tell your victims you're safe now. He's gone. We got him. We got the bad guy. So, isn't that what cops are supposed to do? Relieve suffering caused by crime? That's what I was taught all my life. How pathetic that you're not doing it, TPD. You got people all over the country pissed off at you. You got them pissed. Where were you? They knew she was starving. They knew she was suffering, and they just let that go on. And they want to bring me a case at some point if they have something in my jurisdiction. Fuck that. I won't trust it. You can't trust those people that will do that. That would allow that kind of shit to go on right there in their town. Mr. Perry, I need you to understand something. No one cares what you think. We're all sick and tired of hearing it. I need you to understand, Mr. Perry. We're sick and tired of hearing what you think. You need to shut up. No one asked you. Shut up. He still asks me every day, who told? Why would I help you? When you're gone, there is no more suffering. As long as you're out of jail, there's suffering. So we all want you gone. You're not getting it, stupid. You're not getting it, stupid. It's embarrassing. You're that dumb. I said, leave me alone. When you contact me, it makes me mad. I told you not to. So when you're in jail, you won't do that to me anymore. So I will never help you. I'm not told who your leaks are. Wouldn't help you if I was. We all want you gone. We're all sick and tired of you. And your suffering, and your drama, and your problems, and you icking your nasty slime all over everybody else. Your delusion. You're a nut job. So, the reporter says, once I find out Mike is drugged, Charles then tries to kill me. We're going to stage a medical emergency out of work. She'll help the person. Then we'll tell him that person has a virus, she needs a shot, or she'll get it too. And I heard your hitman say, The hitman that you said, I think we finally found a hitman that can kill Cynthia and it won't be linked to us. I heard that recording too. Who has the actual recording? Right? I don't have the actual recording. I've heard it though. So, he says, you make sure she takes the shot. You tell her she'll die if she doesn't. We got to get rid of her. She knows too much. Right after that, he got caught on that too. Here comes the bribes. I'll give you whatever you want if you lie. Well, I'm not going to lie for you. I'm not going to become part of your crime. I'm not going to cover up for you. You are beneath me. We want you in jail. We want you gone. We want you out of the society. You pose a danger too. That is my goal. And fucking come hell or high water, that's what's going to happen. Homeless, no food, nothing. I don't care. We're going to put you away. That's it. You're done. When you started fucking with me, all of a sudden you started getting caught. Everything changed. Life as you knew it ended. All of a sudden, all the crime you hid all your life started coming out more and more and more and more. And I can't do that by myself. So you want to fuck with me, be my guest. You piss off people, you have no idea. Because we get what you just said, and it's not up to you. Never has been, never will be. You are not loved or wanted, you're told on. And you act like you don't know. 12 years of that, and you act like you have no idea. Like you got some sort of mental slow problem. Alzheimer's or something. We have to repeat the same thing. I'm not told who your leaks are, wouldn't help you if I would. I say that 100 times a day. He'll type in my phone, is it this guy, is it that guy? I've told you before, bitch. Come on, write it down. Sick of repeating myself. I'm not told that. Wouldn't help you if I was. We want you gone. We're sick and tired of hearing it. You need a lie. Shut up. No one cares. We're tired of you. We're tired of your drama. We're tired of your problems. We're tired of your ick slime weirdo bothering everybody else with your shit. Take your shit and get out. No one owes you a lie. So she says, the reporter says, he says, I'll give you whatever you want if you'll lie for me. And I said, no, you won't. What I want Tristan and Fabian up here so we can talk and you butt out. It's not your business what we have to say. I want my money back that you took, all of it. I want my club full of paying customers that are nice because you ran all those people off. And I want Mike Nealey home. And you get the fuck out of my life. And I never hear from you again. That's what I want. I'm not going to take your bribe and lie. Take that offer and shove it up your ass. And don't ask me that again. Guess what he does? It's still doing. I'm going to starve you. Fine, I'll starve you into a lie. I'll take all your money. It's the carrot and the stick approach we do. That's the stick. Take her house, take her car. Mr. Perry, that's not something to be proud of, sir. That is criminal activity. And I said no. I'm going to take your house and your car. I'm going to take your house and your car. That's crime. It's coercion. You don't know that? You act like you have no idea. He's told on and told on and told on. How does she know? How does she find out? I'm going to take your home and your car. Yeah, we know. We don't have Alzheimer's. We got it the first time you said that. You pissed everybody off. So don't ask why we don't want you around and who's telling. You're not all there, right? It's very frustrating for me to have to deal with somebody who's mentally not there. So anyways, this guy, the reporter says, had they done that then? And she asserts that they killed Chief Miller. We'd all say, no, she's wrong about that, if not a little crazy, because they got Mike home. She's doing good. No reason to think they killed him. But that's not what they've done. They have coerced her. Carrot in the stick. Take her home in your car, and she's broke. Mike's still in jail. And again, we've got a court proceeding she's not allowed into, and there's like 4 of them. Again, we got a court proceeding that looks illegal. So we know they killed Chief Miller. We know that. And had they done what she said in March 2020, and it didn't look like they killed Chief Miller, because we can all see Mike couldn't have done it. He's got not a mark on him. You can't beat someone to death and look like that while drugged and unconscious. Had they done what she said, there would have removed some doubt and suspicion on them, and Charles could have been campaigning right now. He wouldn't need to force her out of her home and starve her into a lie. He wouldn't need to ask for a lie. We wouldn't have believed her. We'd have thought she's a little nutty. But they didn't. They ruined her life. You don't need someone to lie who's already lying. You only need somebody to lie who's telling the truth. The truth will set you free. The truth will set you free. You have women and children in a bondage that is sick. We are going to set them free, Charles Perry. We're doing things you've not seen before. This guy was given opioids, probably sitting on the bed. When you're in your own hotel room, you're more comfortable sitting on the bed. If you're a guest in someone else's hotel room, you're more likely sitting in a chair. So we believe that Mike was sitting on the bed drinking something that somebody had slipped opioids into. There were no cameras in the hallways where he was staying, he and Chief Miller. They were coaxed to Pensacola, to a police conference, because they had a plan. My police report did not name a suspect. It said no one saw this, but it could be stalking related. Maybe. Police have to properly collect the evidence, investigate, and make a determination. TPD. That's Detective 101. I was raised by 4 generations of police. I know exactly what's supposed to happen. So, they're talking. Mike starts to pass out. Like he starts arguing with the offender. What'd you give him? It gets loud. Here comes Hotel John knocking on the door. Now remember, Mike couldn't find the remote and called down to the front desk asking for help earlier in the night, right after they were talking about Jeff Epstein, creepy Jeff Epstein, because they had a Jeff Epstein case landed right on their desk with that vandalism report, and they knew it. I didn't say that to them, but they knew that because you guys called them all the time. So Mike opens the door for Hotel John, and Hotel John says, I can see Mike. He's happy. He's a little drunk, but he's happy. Chief Miller is laying on the bed next to the window, resting. So at this point, they see both occupants. They're visualizing both occupants, and they're fine. Then, after they slip something into his drink, and he passes out like he starts to fight with the offender. What'd you give him? He's yelling, stop it, to the offender. Mike, are you okay? Like that. There was no visual context to put with that utterance, if that was even really said. So they're yelling and they're screaming. There's a fuss in the fight. Here comes Hotel John because the people next door complained. There's a fight going on next door. Please come stop it. Lucky opens the door only wide enough for Hotel John to see his face. He does not see Mike. He does not hear from Mike. Do you know any angry drunk about to beat someone to death who is dead silent? Nope. They're ranting, they're yelling, they're raving. He was dead silent. No one heard a thing. Lucky says, I'm trying to calm my buddy down. Which buddy? He didn't say Mike. So both occupants of that room, Lucky's concealing someone. No need to conceal the other registered guest in the room, Mike Nealey. And he's not seen or heard. We don't know. At this point, he's already passed out, but no one knows. No one saw it. No one saw him. No one heard him talk. There's a man standing probably behind him with a gun to his head. Get rid of this guy. The killer. The murderer. Premeditated murder of a cop. Then he shuts the door. The door opened to the left of him. So he shuts the door. He's subdued and pulled back over to the right and back between the bed and the wall where he was found. When you're beat to death in a fight, a spontaneous fight especially, you're going to be found slumped over. He was laying flat on his back, straight up. Somebody placed him there. Blunt force trauma to the head. Internal decapitation. His skull came off his body, basically. He's internally decapitated. The skin is still attached, but inside his head's off. The rest of his body, that's a pretty severe injury. It killed him. And he's strangled. Extensive damage. The Creek County DA told the cops up here, I think Sapulpa or Manford or all of them, that when he went to get Lucky, he had extensive damage over his head, neck, and face. But yet, look at Mike's hands. They would look like Chief Miller's face had he beat him. He did not. And now the reporter. Do you think she's the only one that can figure that out? Had they done what she said and given her shit back and gotten him home and said, we support the blue. We back the blue. We support our officers. We are behind our law enforcement officers. He could not have done it. Anyone can see that. But we don't want that suspicion on us, so we're going to help get him home. She's right. And there would be no suspicion on you. But that's not what you've done. You've taken my home, and you're proud of it. And you've about to take my car. You've tried to. That's what the wreck was for Saturday, a few weeks ago. That was to take it. They're going to ruin. Our guys say, there's not a day goes by there. They're not recorded talking about wrecking your car, running the engine, or just towing it. They are obsessed with taking your car. That is a crime, sir. That's criminal activity, dumbass. You're embarrassing how stupid you are. I've never seen anything like it. So, had you done that, you wouldn't have suspicion on you now. You could run for office, I guess. Perry thinks he's got to put me back in jail and make me sign a coerced letter of apology he wrote. Not my words, his words. That's what we understand. Saturday, when my car was wrecked, you were supposed to take my car. You got me kicked out of my house. You're supposed to take my car. You were going to throw me back in jail. Now I feel completely desperate. I'll give you a plea agreement. You have to sign this letter of apology, which is a complete lie. It's my words, not yours. Under extreme duress. Then I'll let you out. I've hired all these hitmen to kill you. I'm going to do it myself. I'm going to force you to be in the same room with me. It's going to creep the shit out of you out. It would creep me out. If Perry gets near me, I'll beat the fuck out of him. He has no idea. I won't go where he is and do anything to him. But if he comes by me, I'm not going to wait to see if he's got a syringe. I'll beat the hell out of him. You better have a football helmet on. I'll beat the shit out of him. He's not going to get near me. He's not going to get anywhere near me. There's not going to be a hug fest. There's not a relationship there. He's delusional. He's a whack job. It's embarrassing to me. So, this TPD did not sell well the way that you handled that and not being there for him or me, both cop family. Because if you do it to cop family, you'll do it to anybody. And now you got to trust guys that have worked very hard to have a stellar reputation won't work with you because they don't want you fucking up their stellar reputation. And that's pretty pathetic. It's called dereliction of duty. It's embarrassing. We can do better than that. Now, my whole life has been about being taught as lawmen, we're called to relieve suffering caused by crime. And it is. Stop the suffering, and you do it better than anybody else can. And I've put up with a lot of shit from these guys. It's criminal, organized crime, Perry, bullshit, weirdo club. And I don't have it as bad as Mike. There's always something to be thankful for. The way that I'm able to endure the shit is that I focus on what's good in my life, what I still have, what's going right, and what I've accomplished. Because I've accomplished something nobody else has. And my granddad would be very proud of me, and that's all that matters to me. Nothing else matters to me. It's a family legacy, and it is not for sale. It is not for sale. And when I've said that, Perry acts like he didn't hear me. He acts like he has no idea what those words mean. Somebody that does not have integrity and ethics and morals and values and principles, they're not a principled person. They don't understand people that do. And guess what? We don't understand you. What kind of fucked up, twisted, sick mind sits around all day, violating women in the privacy of their home against their will, and enjoys causing another person harm and ruin? What kind of person does that? No one understands you. It's awful what you're doing. It's awful. You're being stopped every time you're told on. You want to use a carrot and a stick? Wow, okay. It's not, you just pissed everybody off is all you did. And we got more. We know you said that. Let her spend a week or two under our bridge with no food and she'll finally lie for us. We know you said that. Who has the actual recording? Calvin. You're big on that. You're mean. You're a mean motherfucker. This is the McNamara email. Charles, we got this and it wasn't up to you. This is evidence of premeditation of coercion, and it so disturbed somebody they told on you. This was about the first false arrest. It's so disturbing, people. And he carried it out in January. This was written in October. Check dates of emails because they're always before he does it. October 29, 2015. And you had me arrested in January because TPD gave my police report right over to the offender who just tried to kill me. Not how you do that, TPD. See, here's the police report. It is dated the 21st, 2016. There is a lot of stalking that went on before I said something. There usually is. I'm arrested in Lubbock, charged in Lubbock. I haven't lived in Lubbock for over a year, about 2 years at this point. I left in November 2013 to get away from a stalker. All my communications were about his stalking. I didn't like it. No one does. Nothing political mentioned ever, at all. I helped him get elected. So, really, in order to do this, the charges were filing a false police report in retaliation for a public servant doing his job. But, look at the date. No evidence was collected. I didn't get a blood test. I was being poisoned with arsenic, they said. Was it arsenic or was it something else? We don't even know. I never got a blood test. There was no proper collection of evidence. There were texts from Dave. There was a video of what occurred the night that I'm describing here at Lady Godiva's. We didn't get that either, where I would sit down with a cop and say, here's what happened. I got thrown under the bus, and that's got cops pissed off. They don't want to work with y'all. They don't trust you. It's sad. So I get charged with filing a false police report. There should have been first an established fact that there was a false police report filed and that it was over his job. There's no evidence of that anywhere. There was no political vendetta, so there's no evidence of it. Nobody gave a shit about some little nobody podunk, who thinks he's God. 3% of the state of Texas is his demographic. Very small district. Smallest in the state, one of them. 86% Republican. He can't be flipped. So you have zero value to any political organization that would put money into, trying to get you out of office. You don't matter. You're not relevant. And I was in politics all my life. You're the new guy. I had people I already worked with. I did not do state legislation in Texas. I did federal. I did a few things with the State Board of Education, which is a completely different elected body. And you have no tweets. You have no angry rants. I'm vocal. You piss me off. You'll know it. Ask TPD. I have not sued TPD, but I've given a verbal scolding more than once. So have some other cops, by the way, just so you know. So this is the result. Justice was obstructed. There was no evidence collected. And Mr. Powell had the legal obligation to collect and preserve its ABA rules, Mr. Powell, and Brady rules. So, all of my constitutional rights are violated right here like a motherfucker. Kind of like Mike's were. Mike was not tested on scene. He's given Narcan. He's passed out. He's in respiratory distress. Some chemical made him be in that condition. The test should have been given right there, right then. So we know what happened. What does his blood look like right now that's causing him to be in that condition? They wait till they get to the hospital after he's being given Narcan, which then makes him come to. Well, in order to get him to come to, the chemical composition of his blood has to change. It's too late now. We lost his evidence. It's degraded. Same thing with me. I'm sitting in Lubbock for 2 months while the arsenic worked its way out of my system. Because TPD, when I filed this report, should have had me back right then, right there. Like I say, I'm connecting the dots. And get it taken care of, right? Get the evidence right then, right there. She said, don't send him away and tell him come back later. You get it, all right? You get it then. Because what happens is you suffer a degradation of evidence when you don't. There's a crime thing called obstruction of justice, destroying evidence, which is evidence of a crime in and of itself. Perjury. Mr. Perry knew there was no political vendetta. We think. We're not sure. We're sure. Did he lie? Did he commit perjury? Because there's no, like I said, no angry tweets or rants or anything about, anything on social media about being pissed off politically at him. We don't even know the issue that he's made up in his mind. Or did he imagine it? Or is he unable to properly identify his legislative duties? Which one was it? But without evidence of a political vendetta and evidence of a false police report, no determination had been made. There was not even an investigation. So you can't say it's true or false. Without that, this should have never been signed. This should have never been signed. Probable cause. So then TPD just let that go. And now we have Dead Lucky and almost dead framed Mike, and everybody's mad at y'all. 2 cop family members they threw under the bus. You do that to your own family, you'll do it to anybody. Now we don't trust them. What kind of bullshit would they bring me that's not even legit? Made up shit. I don't trust them. I have a stellar reputation. I'm not going to fuck that up for them. They call me, they go on hold, and I go to lunch. This is not how you do policing. That is corruption right there. Bold and blatant and flagrant as it gets. You have to live with, you got your name on something, you live with it. This is when I got a call back. I'm already in jail. February 15th. Now she wants the evidence. Now she wants the evidence. You want to pursue these charges? Bring me the evidence, she says. This was a voicemail she left while I'm sitting in jail. While I'm sitting in jail, Justice Scalia dies, not just anywhere, not just at any time, but in West Texas right then, right there, where they're all planning my second false arrest. We're going to send her home, harass the fuck out of her, do things like take her money and her home and her car, ruin her life. She's going to go under a bridge. We're going to do the carrot and the stick. She's telling the truth. We got to make her lie. We just take everything she has so she'll lie. She'll get so desperate, she'll take the bribe and lie. And then everybody will believe us because we make her lie. Nope. The way that worked out is, had they done what she said and got Mike out of jail and given her back her shit, and she's doing good and he's doing good, and then she says they killed Chief Miller, we would have said she's crazy. If not a little, she's wrong, if not a little bit crazy, because they got him out. If they killed Chief Miller, they're not going to get Mike out. They're not going to make sure she's doing good. They're going to do exactly what they're doing to her now. Take everything she's got. Mike's in jail. And again, we've got a court hearing. Court trial didn't make any sense. And she's kept out. Why are they always keeping her out of court? When you hear her podcast, you know why they're keeping her out of court. These are criminals of the nastiest kind. These are criminals of the nastiest kind. What kind of sick, twisted, fucked up folk sit on their fat, lazy, perverted asses all damn day planning somebody else's ruin and harm? And for that, Mr. Perry, you don't get a date, you get told on. More than ever in your lives. How many times were you told on before you met me, and how many after? And then I have names like Calvin Blankenship, Desiree, Muffin Man, whoever's nicknamed Muffin Man. And you pissed off all the wrong people. Because I actually do know people in power, Charles. You're not one of them. Look at that says. Look at the date on that, November 14, 2017. They want to use me as a test case before the Supreme Court on the harassment. They're going to harass the shit out of you, Sin, when you get home. And then claim you're harassing them when you tell on them. And you did do it twice. And Justice Scalia died of what appears to be natural causes, but Commander William O'Ritchie, murder cop of D.C. Police, questioned why protocol wasn't followed. Kind of like in my case, protocol wasn't followed. If you gave the police report right over to the offender and he obstructed justice and I lose my evidence. Let me tell you something, Mr. Perry. I've said this before. I'm going to say it again because you need everything repeated over and over and over and over for you to get it. If TPD or, we watched Jason White on the First 48 and he seems to be okay. I don't know the guy, but I'm watching his detective skills. Let me tell you, when I watch one of those shows, I'm evaluating detective skills. I want to see is this guy good? Is he going to impress me, or is he shitty, or is he going to, I don't know. So let's say Jason White gets a call and there's a missing woman, wife, and the guy says, she's been missing like a week. And Jason smells bleach real strong in one room, and there's brand new carpet and brand new paint. The first thing he's going to go is, when did you redo this room? Yesterday. I see. So why did you redo the room? We were going to redo it. Okay, this is the room we're going to luminol. Because when you got a room that smells like bleach and has fresh paint and fresh carpet, right after someone goes missing, there's a good chance that there's a murder, and that murder happened in that room, and there's new paint and new carpet to cover all that up. That is evidence of a crime, that you destroyed evidence. So he's going to start he's going to get the luminol out. They're going to start looking for for blood splatter and blood whatever. And sure shit, now she's not missing. She's murdered. What'd you do to your wife? She's not missing. Her blood's all over that room that you just, redid to cover all up your murder evidence. So when you destroy my evidence, Mr. Perry, of poisoning, and you got Mr. O'Ritchie going, protocol wasn't followed with Justice Scalia. Had he been in D.C., it would have been followed. We had started looking to see if there was some other cause of death, just to rule it out, make sure. Didn't happen in West Texas while they were planning this. And Justice Scalia is a First Amendment guy. Flag burning, he held, was free speech. This gives some support to what he thought, to his theory. And twice there's no protocol followed. Twice. Where you're concerned. And he didn't die in D.C. He didn't die in some other place at some other time. He died right then, right there in West Texas while you were planning that. And you can't say you weren't planning it because you did it in civil court. Judge Cummins did that for you. I guess you guys came up with that in the duck hunting trip. And his orders never have a reason or any case law cited, ever. Just denied, dismissed. And I'm never in the hearing. Never met the guy. Not been in his courtroom. That's my case. Burden of court proof was on me. You're caught. So that's what gave pause to the reporter. Again, we see she's not in court. She had to file a fucking motion to intervene on her own. Take that upon herself to help this man, this police officer. That's just what you do. Not doing it's unthinkable. Did you not kill Chief Miller? You wouldn't have kept me out of that courtroom, and you wouldn't try to starve me into a lie, because you only need me to lie because I'm telling the truth and you know it. So that's what she said. Had they sent Officer Nealey home, and she's doing good, and then she asserts that Chief Miller was murdered by them, we'd have said she's wrong, if not crazy. They got him home. She's doing good. Then Perry could go a campaign. He wouldn't have all this suspicion on him. But now he's going at her, and he's going at her, and he's going at her because she's telling the truth. And Mike Nealey, we can all see, could not have done this. And again, we've got a funny little court proceeding that wasn't quite legal. There's a bunch of them. The thing builds up. The thing is, it happens once. Maybe it's a coincidence or an accident or a mistake. Happens again and again and again. No good cop believes in a coincidence, Mr. Perry. So we got all this because you pissed off all the inmates. I guess Matt Powell told everybody what y'all were going to do. Defense attorneys or something. And they told their clients and everybody in jail. Because even prisoners are repulsed by bitches like you. Pathetic little bitches. Doesn't have a life. So they all told me, got to get rid of your phone when you get home. He's going to tweet from it. He's going to fuck with it and say you did it. They want to have another false arrest. They fucked this one up. Even those girls were like, boy, these people didn't think that through, did they? Okay. So I did. Look at that. I got rid of my phone immediately. My phone was in my ex-husband's name. He picked me up and took me back to Oklahoma. And I said, I got to get rid of my phone. I told him what happened. He disconnected it immediately and bought me a burner phone. But I guess Perry didn't know that or something. So I have the old phone. That's this phone. And I went from an Apple to an Android. Burner phone. Cheap Walmart something. And so I switched the whole kind of phone. This I had left in the bedroom to charge up to send to Ted Hogan, my attorney, for court. I'm planning on going to court. I'm innocent. Let's go to trial. I was ready. So I was getting this charged up to send him. And I had been home like a day or two. I don't know. I think I got home on the 6th. This was on the 10th. So our whole family had dinner. And the rest of the family left. I think they were actually way back out in the back of the property in another building with some friends of theirs. Dennis goes, I want to get a snack. So can we go to the Manford and get something? So I said, sure. So we get in the car and we're driving in Manford. And we stopped at Dollar General there, and they didn't have what we were looking for. So we drive on through town. Well, everything closes at sun goes down in Manford. And so a lot of places that we were going to look into going to were closed. And we're driving back towards the house, passing Jiffy Trip. and I'm in the left-hand lane, and Dennis goes, go ahead and stop at Jiffy Trip. So I immediately tried to, before I pass it, turn right from the left-hand lane, and I'm like, well, there's nobody around here but this one car. Well, that one car was a cop car, so I get pulled over for an unsafe lane change. I'm actually sitting pulled over by Manford Police when this happened. This is at my house on a Charger, getting prepared to send to my attorney. Everybody else had left. So they were all night long in another building on the property with friends who, they were partying. Not partying, they didn't have wild parties, but I mean, chatting and drinking beer and having a nice time. And I get back, and somebody's tried to text from my phone. Hacker, just like those girls said, in jail. The harassment email says it. Documenting stalking, TPD. That's what this is. So I don't know who pulled me over. It might have actually been Mike. I didn't even pay attention. It was kind of quick. Like, he pulls me over, checks everything. You got any drink, open containers of booze or anything? No, we're not like that. And then he's like, okay, well, you made an unsafe lane change. Can I check your driver's license? I said, sure. Here's my driver's license. By the way, I was just arrested on. Here's my bond contingents. And I told him what happened. And he goes, golly, I'm sorry you had to go through that. Listen, don't give your address out to anybody. Use somebody else's address. By the way, I had a protected address because we all got those when Rebecca Schaefer was murdered, because her stalker got her address from the DMV, hired a PI to do it, and then went to her house and shot her dead. So I'm talking to Officer Nealey, I just gave him a quick rundown. Here's what happened. So that's probably going to pop up when you pull my license. He says, dear Lord God, don't give your address out to anybody. And I'm like, well, that's why I have a protected address. They weren't supposed to get it in the first place. And he goes, well, I'm getting another call. I got to go. I'm not going to give you a ticket. Just watch what you're doing. So I go back home, pick up my phone, and there's this. But I don't remember who the officer was. I'm not sure it's Officer Nealey, but maybe it was. I don't know. Anyways, so, I mean, it's not like, hang on. Now it's this. Nothing works. Can't get online. Break her computer, break her phone, so she can't get online. It will not go online. I get that. It's like this. Then I clicked on this article right here with Donald Trump, and that happens. My computer and my phone. I got to do schoolwork. I do online school, college. Court briefs. Everything. So they did that. Mr. Perry, I said for you to shut up. You've pissed everybody off. And so because you pissed everybody off, we got this. That is a recording of you and your people talking about coercing me. Coercion is a crime because you did that. When you fuck with me, you get told on. You don't get love. You're not loved or wanted. You're told on. And you act like you have not a clue what that is. No idea what's happening to you. No idea what people say. You act like you just don't even know. You never respond right to what was just said. Everybody wants y'all gone, stopped. So when you're told on, and I get stuff like that, what do you think that means? One of you that gets it needs to explain it to Perry. I'm not a special ed teacher, Mr. Perry. I do not have finger paints, puppets, and crayons to explain to you cause and effect. If you do X and Y happens and you don't like Y, stop doing X. You're never going to get a date with me. You're not loved or wanted. You're told on and told on and told on and told on. And you act like you have no idea. You act like you have not a clue. It is unbelievable. So I'm working, actually, when I was younger. My Aunt Kay used to sell medical equipment. I worked for her. She came to Albuquerque and sold a whole bunch of prosthetic devices to one of the nursing homes there. They had to be fitted. So I was there fitting all these orthotics that this place had ordered to each patient, and it took about 30 minutes per patient. So I was there all damn day. And for the most part, it was pleasant. But I got up to this one floor. It was a multi-floored facility. And I get, or wing maybe. I think it was multi-floored. So I get to this one floor, and they had me doing this in their, like, each floor had like a community room with like a TV where everybody could come in together from their individual bedrooms and sit and watch TV and play whatever cards or whatever and socialize. And everybody in that facility was pretty much, able to play cards or play bingo or whatever the hell they wanted to do. But this one floor was a little bit higher skilled nursing requirements. And there was a lady that screamed and wailed constantly. I don't know what's happening to me. Where's my husband? He was in the garage. I don't know what's happening to me. Where's my husband? He's in the garage. Clearly, something happened to her, and she was stuck there in that moment. And that's all she said. She wailed it. She screamed it. There were people that would go talk to her. Do you want something to eat? Didn't answer. Didn't act like she knew what the hell they said. They're trying to get her to eat. Somebody had to feed her. She just yelled that constantly. And I looked at the nurse and I go, how the hell do you stand listening to that all day? She goes, well, at first it was really hard for me, but now I'm kind of used to it. I mean, I don't have a choice. This is where I work. And this woman is, as you can see, mentally impaired severely. She's in a kind of a catatonic state. And she yells that all the time. She's, we don't know exactly what happened. Something. I said, yeah, I mean, if she's yelling what happened to me, asking for where her husband is, and he was in the garage, it sounds like at something happened where, she suffered a severe loss that involved her husband, and she's just stuck in this place in her mind that no one could get through to her. And when I say, when you mess with me, you're caught, and you continue to answer me, who told, and I continue to say, I'm not told, that wouldn't help you if I was, we want you gone. That's what it feels like we're all having to deal with. Someone who's just not all there, and we're not able to get through. We want you gone. This is not okay. You've caused so much suffering. Everybody hates you. It's not hard to get what you just said. We're trying to use the carrot and the stick. We're trying to use the carrot and the stick. We're going to starve her and make her homeless. And you act like you think that's a good thing. It is coercion. It is criminal activity. Grand larceny with intent to coerce. Interference with contracts and commerce with intent to coerce. We're getting this stuff, and it's not up to you. And it's been that way for 12 years. You're not loved or wanted. You're told on. When you do X, when you bother me, you cause suffering and loss for me. Y happens. You get told on. And you guys act like this woman. We're sitting there saying that to you over and over and over and over, and you're just not all there. You're just catatonic. You're not understanding what's being said to you. And we have to say it over like you got Alzheimer's, like you forgot. You've been caught trying to get my car. You've been caught trying to take my home. All of that's criminal activity, and you don't know that, and you're caught. When in your lives have your crime been caught this much? When in your lives? How many times before you met me were you caught? How many times after? And it's not up to you. We want y'all gone. We want this stopped. Everybody's sick and tired of the suffering, and sure as shit sick and tired of hearing what Charles Perry thinks. We want you to shut up and get out. No one cares what you think. You sound like that woman. Doesn't even make sense. And when people are trying to explain to you, stop it. You're upsetting everybody. It's illegal for you to do what you're doing. Please stop. And when you don't, you're being stopped every time we get one of these. Nobody's going to help you. Everybody wants you gone. I don't know what kind of sick, twisted, fucked up people sit on their fat, lazy asses all day, perverting around, trying to figure out how to make somebody's life be ruined. I don't know. Normal people can't even begin to understand why in the fuck you would do that. So when we say those things to you, and you just sit there and yell, who told? You're like that lady. Severely mentally disabled and severely mentally ill. It is not normal to want to peep on a woman, Charles. It is disgusting. It is disgusting. He types in my phone every fucking day. I can see you. I'm watching you. Right. And that's X. And so you get told on. That's why. You're not all there. It's been this way for years. You can't see the correlation, the cause and effect. By now, you're like that lady. Things are not clicking for you. Here's the other thing. Most people don't have to be told that. Women do not like their privacy violated like that. You do owe me $1,000 a day for being entertained, watching me in the privacy of my home, plus $2,000 a day for doing it without my consent. You do not have my consent, sir. Get out. You don't have my consent to hack and try to talk to me. I don't want to hear it. We're all sick of hearing it. I've said that over and over and over and over. Leave me alone. Most people don't have to be told what you're doing is illegal and offensive and disgusting, and we're all tired of it. And you have to be told every day over and over and over and over. Like, it's just not. Nobody can get through. Your mind is fucked. Most people don't even have to be told once, much less over and over and over. Something's wrong with you. You get caught. You fuck with me, you get told on. You fuck with me, you get caught. You fuck with me, you get caught. You fuck with me, you get caught. Who has the actual recordings of y'all talking about framing me for this and getting her on that? Let's get her on. She wears socks and a lap dance, damn it. Let's get her on that. Pinto solicits $5,000 for a night of being creeped out with Charles Perry, and nobody does a thing about it. But you're gonna get me on dancing with my socks on so I don't poke holes in the furniture. Doesn't get any more violating of equal, gender discrimination than that. And that made people sick at their stomach, by the way. See, stuff like that makes people mad. And then it gets easier to get what you just said. Normal people don't like that kind of crap. I'm sorry that you do. I'm sorry your mind is sick and twisted and fucked, and you do things like that, and you think it's cute. Guess what? The 40 guys helping me do not. And they're the ones that get this kind of stuff and give it to me. And the Fabian puzzle wasn't up to you. So, yeah, I assert my constitutional rights, First Amendment, 14th, in the application of all the laws that protect women against violence. Anti-hacking, anti-peeping, anti-voyeurism, anti-sexual exploitation, anti-coercion, harassment, witness tampering. I assert them. I shouldn't have to, I just have them. You are big on violating people's civil rights, but I'll tell you what, you all expect yours to be upheld. One set of rules for you and another for everybody else. That also pisses people off. People do not like you. You might have the guys on your payroll. They love you, I'm sure. They love your money. Everyone else hates your guts. More by the day. It gets easier by the day to get what you just said. So, do what you do. There's your shovel. Dig away.